that goal you set may be or may look like, no matter how determined you are, you need motivation. You see, and you need constant motivation. Many of us will bear me witness. Anytime you leave this place, you leave charged. And that is motivation. At times, some things you have abandoned, you get to begin to look for those things. Say, "Oh, no, 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 this thing must not die." So since I got the trick that motivation is the key, so after setting my goal for years, I come here every month to receive motivation, apart from reading books. So that is one of the things that kept me moving. And let me now give this testimony to round it up. Thank God we talk about affirmation the other time. So when I got home, I wrote my own affirmation. Like our brother said, don't think of how it's going to happen. Just continue to say it. And I have some of it, but I will only testify about one. There's this particular one that I was saying, I begin to live my life without buying fuel. I thank God because I'll be comfortable without buying fuel. All those type of things. But when I think of how much I spent on fuel, in pumping water, in doing one or two things, you cannot believe it, man. Even when I was not thinking, somebody just walked to me and said, "This solar something you are taking, how much is it?" I mentioned the price, and he sent the amount to me. And I installed everything. Not only that, I was outside. I was still using generator anyway because I cannot iron with those things. So I was still saying the same affirmation, affirmation, affirmation. One day I was outside, that thing just dropped. So you can see iron clothes without generator now. I said, how? I was just thinking. I got the idea before getting home. It was like I should have gotten home. When I got home, I just, I have a little engineering experience. I just tapped some part of the panel. I carried my iron. I got, and the thing was working. Ah. And so we started ironing. And I was telling my wife, I said, many people have these gadgets I have, but they don't know how to use it in this manner. But because of the affirmation, he make it work. He arrange everything to come to bear. And so, second week, I was just hearing buru, buru, buru. I said, what is happening? I went, it was my wife that was carrying generator inside, and we don't need this thing again. So I now able to carry it inside. So what I'm trying to say is, here, when you receive motivation combined with affirmation, I think that is the magic. And I know that is just the big. As, when you receive motivation with affirmation, I said that is magic to get to where you are going. Thank you.
I think you get it. Motivation, affirmation, transformation to take place. So I think we've gotten that logic now. Motivation plus affirmation equal to transformation. Can we say it again? Motivation plus affirmation equal to transformation. So I think we have got it. I just want just one person. Okay. So thank you very much. I just want us to encourage ourselves to come early. So when we come early, we'll be able to listen to these testimonies and we'll be getting transformed every time. Can you put your hands together for all the speakers? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Let's give a round of applause. We can do better. Okay, yeah, so we'll quickly be going to the next session. We don't want to waste much of our time. And I'd quickly like to call on the person that will be taking the next session. As you know, we want to cover some certain areas of our lives. If you have money and you don't have good health, you are going to spend that money to take care of your health. So we want a balance for our generous billionaires here. So we're going to be having a short charge in the next couple of minutes, and the person that will be doing that for us is not a person that Mrs. Joy Ogbaola. Let's welcome her as she comes off the stage. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Morning, generous billionaire. Good morning, ma'am. Yeah, like I said the last time. What shall it profit us if we gather all the wealth and then lose our health? Nothing. This morning, I have brought something that will help you, that can help prolong your life even. It's a miracle drug. And everybody must take it, starting from this morning. The good thing is that you don't have to pay a dime to take that. Yes, it's free of charge. You don't have to pay 1 kobo. This is a miracle drug. Can you see it? The miracle drug. Oh, the miracle drug. I'll pass it around. You pick one and give one and pass it to your neighbor. So once you pick your own drug, start using it immediately with immediate effect. Yes, sir. Immediately. You don't even need water. You don't need water to use it. You don't need water. Just start taking it immediately. Okay. It will, don't worry, to go round. Oh, Makari. Please start taking your. As people have taken their own, they are not taking it. You're not taking your drug, oh. Please start immediately. Start taking it immediately. It's important to start taking it immediately for it to work. Have you taken yours, sir? Okay. You too. Thank you. Can we be faster with this, please? Or when you see. Please, if you are taking the drug, I'll know. I take that drug a lot. A lot. And it's the reason why one of the reasons why I'm looking so youthful. And, when I tell people my age, most times they tell me I'm lying. I can say people have taken that. Did you take yours? I don't see the evidence. Please, you can give the baby some too. Anybody can take it. Overdose. You will give them. You've taken your own. I can see you take. Yes, you've taken your own. No need for water. Okay. Now, thank you. I think it's almost gone round. You didn't give Mrs. Caxton. Please, everybody must see. Yeah, in fact, today she's using her own. Yeah, the miracle drug is laughter. Have you heard the expression before that laughter is medicine? Laughter is medicine. And somewhere in Proverbs in the Bible it says that a cheerful spirit does good like medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. So when we laugh, a lot of things happen. I went to ChatGPT and I asked, what happens when we laugh? When we laugh, several things happen in our body and brain. Laughter activates multiple areas of the brain, especially the prefrontal cortex, thinking, emotion, movement, dopamine. A feel-good chemical is released, which boosts mood and reduces stress. 2, breathing and oxygen intake. Laughter increases our intake of oxygen-rich air, stimulates the heart, the lungs, the muscles, and enhances circulation. Muscle contraction. It causes short-term muscle relaxation after the laughter episode. That's why a good laugh can make you feel physically relaxed. Heart rate and blood pressure. These temporarily increase during laughter but tend to drop afterwards, which may contribute to relaxation and stress relief. Immune system boost. Laughter can increase immune cells and infection-fighting antibodies, improving resistance to disease. Pain relief. It triggers the release of endorphins, that's the body's natural painkillers. So laughing is not only an emotional response, it's a whole body experience with significant physical and psychological benefits. And then it goes on to say that laughter strengthens relationships with others. It builds trust and fosters emotional connection. It increases feelings of belongings. It's a shortcut to bonding. It enhances communication. It diffuses tension and makes conversations more engaging, opens up difficult topics in a lighter way. This is especially valuable in team setting or conflict resolution. Laughter boosts team morale and creativity. In a professional environment, laughter improves morale, reduces stress, and encourages creative thinking. And that one of the reasons is because relaxed employees are more willing to share ideas and collaborate. And 4, it promotes positive leadership. Leaders who use humor appropriately are often perceived as more approachable, empathetic, and inspiring. Lastly, I want to go over the health benefits of laughter. Laughter reduces stress hormones. It improves immune functions. It supports heart health. It relieves pain naturally. Laughter improves mental health, and it helps you sleep better. Maybe you can try it tonight before you sleep. Just make yourself laugh. Laugh and laugh and laugh and see how well you sleep. Thank you for listening. I hope that you get to laugh more. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can do better. Thank you, Mark, for that wonderful exposition. Laugh. Yeah. You need to laugh at something that appears too serious. Yes, so that you won't make mistake in addressing it. If you are too cocky and too cranky, because the situation is hard. Example, let's say your car breaks down all of a sudden, and then you have a seminar like this. You want to come and deliver a lecture, and your car breaks down. If you don't take it lightly, don't you think it's going to spoil what you're coming here to? Oh, this car, you kicked the tire. Oh, what's wrong with you? And then walk in and you want to deliver, and you're stammering, you're still thinking of that car. But laugh over it. You, this car, you're not going to stop me. Today, call mechanic, let them fix it, and move on. So thank you, Ma. We appreciate you. And let's clap for her again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you, Ma. Okay, so we are going to the next session right now. And this is the real deal. And I want to believe our mama is ready. You know what I call our mama in the house. Okay, so I'll be calling on someone that will introduce our speaker to us today. And she's not a person than Mrs. Moronkola. Please come up stage to do the introduction. Welcome her powerfully. Mrs. Olajumoke Caxton-Martins. She's been okay, yeah. So thank you. Sorry for that break in transmission. So Olajumoke Caxton-Martins is a lawyer, a Nigerian Bar Association Women's Forum mentor, and a business management consultant. She holds a master's degree in international trade and investment law and certificate in philanthropy and business skills competency. She's an associate trainer in the Nigerian Institute of Training and Development and a professional mentor and coach with Chartered Institute of Mentoring and Coaching Nigeria. She teaches live application skills, Outfit Life Mastery Academy, and a video blog on YouTube. She's a motivational speaker and she runs a productivity coaching program for women. She is also a published author. So if you've been thinking of writing a book and you've been having difficulties, you can reach out to her and she's going to help you. She's also a published author and she delights in coaching intending, can you hear now, writers from conception to publication. She presently serves as the Group Managing Director of Academy Suites, Hotels Ibadan, Central Hospitals, Tolu Medical Centers, Lagos, and the Abeokuta Foundation. So with a standing ovation and with a clapping ovation, I would like you to welcome up stage our speaker for today, Mrs. Olajumoke Caxton-Martins. You can do better, you can do better.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Please be seated. I was wondering, it's just to introduce me that we were delaying and delaying. We all know me. Please, I would like to crave your indulgence. If you have an empty seat in front of you, please move forward. If there's an empty seat in front of you, please keep moving forward until you are as far in front as you can be. Thank you very much. This is so that those who come in freshly will not distract us. Even if they distract me because I can see them, they should not distract you. At least let's give you the benefits that comes because you came early. Get the best seats. Find it easy to absorb what we have to share. So before I go into today's session, I want to ask, how many of us have registered for the business clinic that is coming up next week? We know, we saw you were the first person to register everywhere. Yes. You have also registered. Okay. Who else has registered? I was going to say that those of us that were there the last time, and we know what we carried away when we were going. How come we have not registered again? Then it's possible that you're still implementing the things you learned. That's fine. But the truth is, many of us are grappling with different things in different stages of our business. And I know that it's beautiful when we come for seminars like this because we always take something away. However, when it's a business clinic, that is a seminar tailored to your need. It's a seminar built around your question. So while we might decide, like today, we are talking about attaining business success. And I'm actually going to start by talking to employees. Because sometimes employees do not see themselves in the position of needing to attain business success because they don't have a business they're working on yet. I know that some people will grapple with having to come for this particular seminar. Let me use the time for something else. When they are talking about something I can relate with better, I would come. Now, that's about a general seminar that has a topic you know already. A business clinic is addressing whatever your problem is. And you'll be surprised. You will come. I know that we have heard Dr. Abeokuta talk about his experience with the last business clinic. And he mentioned that in Ibadan, I don't know if he was here or elsewhere, he mentioned that in Ibadan, out of about 10, 12 people we had in the room, by the time they spoke about their problems, we realized that about 3 or 4 of them had marital issues, not business problems. Yes, they were doing business with their spouses. And so home and business was mixing together. Now, the beautiful thing about the business clinic is that when you enter a business clinic and you have come with a business problem that we have diagnosed as a family problem, we won't leave you the way you are. You will still get help. So even if it is the family that is distorting the business, we will not stop business seminar to attend to your family problem. But in that business clinic, we don't have a choice but to treat whatever problem it is that you have brought. So if you know that the stage you are at, you need specific advice to move you away from where you are to where you're going. And it's not something that can be applicable generally to everybody because everybody's circumstances are different. If you need something, I just want to encourage you now to plan towards it, not one plan. You have just a week left. This time next week, we'll be in the same room discussing the issues that 20 people maximum have brought to us to discuss. We can't take more than 20 because we don't have more than 3 hours. So I want to encourage every single person who has something they want to address to register for that. Now, I'm saying don't plan towards it, because if you plan towards it, I've said we only have 20 spaces. Meaning that if you are not in the first 20, we will send an apology, and nothing else. So if you have something you need to address, if you have a step you need to take and you don't know how to go about it, this is a perfect time for a solution. Many of us pray for miracles. The miracles hardly ever come the way we think they will. They come in lessons, they come in more work, they come with challenges, and then we are the ones to now distill how God is using the things that are coming our way to answer the questions we asked before. So that is me encouraging everybody here to register for that meeting. Now, in particular, I know that Dr. Besh, when he came the last time, the questions he was asking, I realized that he was asking academic questions. He came here to learn from everybody else. And the things he gathered from listening to other people's questions, you'll be surprised. You are finding the keys to things you have been trying to unlock that you didn't even consider a problem until you realize that that's the center stage problem for somebody else. Like, we had many school proprietors. It was almost as if each location had a different strength. We had school proprietors in Abeokuta. We had doctors in Lagos. We had businessmen who were working with their wives in Ibadan. So, that's the distribution. That's what we saw across the locations. And there were so many proprietors in the room, and they were at different stages of their business. Some people were having challenges with structure, building. Some people were having challenges with registering as CBT centers, either for JAMB or as a accreditation for WAEC. You are not yet there, you have found the solution before you get there, because the person is in your industry already. And I would always say, experience is not the best teacher, it's the most painful. And you see further when you stand on the shoulder of giants. So when somebody has made that mistake before, it's better for you to be in the room and learn how not to make it that same mistake with your life. You have learned from their experience. You don't fall into that ditch. Falling into a ditch is not a crown to wear. Having a straight journey without having to fall into a ditch is good, because you met so many people that fell into ditches that you don't ever have to fall into a ditch again in your life. And that's what a community like the type we have, that's what he does for you. You have different strengths you can leverage on present in the room. But you know that everybody here now, we are gathered to listen to me talk. We are not the ones talking. And so it's what I share, what you can pick from what I share, that you will take away. So come to a closed room where you can get heftier nuggets, when you can learn from people's experiences. Sometimes, by the time you are counseling your neighbors and your siblings, they will wonder, experience, Paul, wisdom, Nja. They don't understand that it's the places you have been, the minds you have robbed, the people you have learned from their experiences. That is what makes you an ideal person to counsel, an ideal person to show somebody the way. And then they ask, you've never passed through this path before. I try to give them 4 names of people they know running hefty businesses that you have sat with in the same room. Then the way they look at you is different. This man is connected, I'm not. How do I make your connection? Invite them to the business clinic. I think I've said enough. Thank you. Thank you very much. So this morning we are talking about attaining business success. And I said I want to address the employees who feel the seminar might not be for them. Well, I can assure you that the seminar is for you. I'm an employee, so let me speak to myself. I have been studying money. This year, I'm dedicating this year to studying and talking about money. And in studying money, I realized that when you work for somebody else, there's a limit to how much you can make. 1. 2, that limit is not determined by you. It's determined by the person who is paying you. But if you want to make real impact in life, if you want to be wealthy, if you want to trigger the wealth creation cycle, you have to have something of your own that you are using to impact the world. And that literally is your business. Sometime in this academy, that is why this is an academy, it's a school, we go from primary to secondary. We have shared in this academy that when you want to start your business, it's not enough to love what you do. It's important to make sure that the business you're starting is solving a problem. If the business you're starting is solving a problem, then automatically there's a demand for the solution you are providing. Now, how much money you will make from your business is dependent on how many people you can solve that problem for. So sometimes you need to think beyond solving your problem locally to solving a global problem. And of course, we all know there's some things that will always be common to man. The need for clothing is a primary need. Everybody will need to wear clothes. Type of clothes might be different. Categories, some might be luxury, some might be basic, but everybody will wear. Everybody will eat. Everybody wants a sense of safety. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. There are some things that people need. You know, if your business is along the line of needs, then there would always be a demand for whatever it is you're doing. And that is usually the place to start when you want to start a business. Now, as an employee, we have seen the world change so much that we realize that even as an employee, quote and unquote, you can be doing a business. And that is when 2020 disrupted our world and brought remote work to play. Everybody that uses the internet now needs cybersecurity. So you're a cybersecurity expert, you are employed, right? You have cybersecurity certifications. But guess what? Everybody needs your service. And so you can work remotely 2 days a week for one person. Work remotely 2 days a week for another person. And then that leaves how many days? 3 days. The remaining 3 days, you have a consulting outfit for your cybersecurity knowledge. And so you can create a business while still being an employee. But your ability to assess what skills you need to have, your ability to assess what you will do to drive your success, even as an employee, having a side hustle, is dependent on how much you know. And the beautiful thing that we have found out, well, I don't know if it's beautiful really. The bad thing is not beautiful that we have found out is no matter where you learn your craft, they always include one final year course on how it works in the world. But that final year course on how it works in the world never really teaches you how to do business. How many people here have an MBA? You have an MBA, sir. When you studied for your MBA, did it really show you how business will be? You understand? You have masters in business administration. How to administer a business was what you went to learn. Then you hit the market and you're wondering, what were they talking about? You know, it's easy to read details about market survey, the difference. I still don't understand it till tomorrow. The difference between sales and marketing. You know, sales is different from marketing in the MBA. My own is customer must enter in business. So I really don't differentiate between sales and marketing when I'm in the market. In the textbook, I can differentiate it. You know, as a matter of fact, we recruit people in charge of sales and put people in marketing. And I fight with the people in sales because if marketing is not going well, what are you selling? Do you understand? But when push comes to shove, when your rubber hits the road, all the lanes blend. So to live a life of impact, even as an employee, you must see yourself beyond your current role. You must see yourself providing a solution to more people than the people in your immediate environment. And of course, in the academy, if you have been here for a long time, you understand that even as an employee, the money that they have limited you to is your salary. They have not limited your earnings because you will get to a stage where the money you have saved will begin to work for you. And then you can actually become wealthy. And so your employment is a tool to a bigger thing. And this, I'm preparing for another session next week. I plan to differentiate between investments and business. We are all happy about mutual funds. What's the rate they're giving us now? 22, thereabouts. You know that your business in Nigeria of today, your business will give you a minimum of 30. And that's the minimum. And so naturally, the best place to invest your money to get the highest returns is in your business. And so even when you have gathered money as an employee and you want your money to give birth to more money for you, and you are thinking you are diversifying your investment, do not forget the most productive investment you would ever have is your own business. And the better prepared you are for your business, the easier it is for you to do business. And so please don't despise attaining business success as a topic because you are not there yet. The person that has studied before he starts doing would have an easier time than the person who is learning by doing. The person will make more mistakes than the person who knew what to do. You know, we've heard the story of Dr. Abeokuta and the fact that he read a minimum of 10 hospitality books before he started Academy Suite. Now, Academy Suites is running to 13, 14 years now, and we're doing well, even if I say so myself. We're doing well. We are doing well because before the first block was put on the ground, the person who started it had learned the problems he will have in 10 years' time. You know, there are some problems that are not for startups. He already knew the problem he would have in the future, and he was prepared for it before he got there. Not from trial and error, but from learning from the experience of everybody else. So let's prepare for impact. For those who have started businesses, congratulations, you're in the right place. For those who are yet to start, this is actually, you are the best set of people. You're coming in with a clean slate, you're learning the right things before you even start. Now, how do you attain business success? You create momentum. Of course, you decide on the business you want to start. For many of us, we have done that already. But I still want to say it again because we have to keep revisiting the foundation to be sure we're building right. So, the lesson I've already shared, you start a business around a problem and you find a creative way to solve that problem. There are two things every customer is looking for. They're looking for a solution to their problems and they're looking for a way to feel good about that solution. So, this solution you have crafted to the problem you have identified, does it actually solve their problem? One. Two, do they feel good using it? And sometimes we go into the details of that and we begin to talk about agronomy. How easy is it for your solution to be used by the people for who you created it? That is agronomy. So after starting your business and identifying and creating a solution that is innovative, because if you're solving the problem the same way everybody else is solving it, you have just joined competition. You understand? If everybody is selling rice the same way, you have just entered an overloaded market because everybody is selling rice. If it's rice and stew, there's nothing special about your stew, there's nothing special about your rice, there's nothing special about your packaging. You have just become one other person. And there is no magic you want to use to determine what your market share will be because everybody else is doing what you're doing. And so you have to have an innovative way of presenting your own solution. Your solution has to be doing something different. You have to have a differentiating factor to even begin to say you want to attain business success. Because if you are doing everything everybody else is doing and we are all doing the same thing, then business success might be far from you. You have to have something you are doing. You have seen a need, even with this provision of that solution that you have decided to plug into. And when you have seen that need, you walk along those lines and you begin to refine your vision. And that's why I say you keep revisiting the foundation. Am I doing it right? Am I delivering to the customer what it is they want? Now, when you have started and you keep revisiting like that, you create momentum. Of course, if life is smooth, you should be worried. Life will always bring challenges. So when they come, you overcome the obstacles and you achieve your set goals. That is what we want to talk about today because that is what it means to attain business success. Of course, success means different things to different people. If you ask different people who are selling food what their idea of success is, you would realize that they have different things. The last time I was here, that's like 2 months ago, I used Jacob Cravings as an example. From the name, you know that is special palate that they are catering for. The people who do not want the food they will meet in every eatery. They are not specializing on rice. They are specializing on cravings. And when you have cravings, the moi that has 7 spirits, or the ekuru, the one with oil on top. These are things that ordinarily you can't walk into any restaurant and say you want ekuru. They will look at you like, sorry, our menu is on the table. You understand? There was a day I was talking about agbado and I said, no, I was talking about water yam. And I said abari and ashikolo. And some people looked at me like, sorry, madam, where are you from? Where are you from? And I said, I grew up with these things. So if I'm passing by and I know somebody can serve it, I will stop. Because I remember my grandmother when I ate those kind of foods. That's the material cravings are for. Now that person has a niche market. She's not struggling with the rice sellers. You understand? She's not struggling with the pounded yam sellers. But you see, these days we see Abula Center, Ileño. People also understand that there are some Ekiti people that used to eat pounded yam at 8 a.m. Those are the businesses they are looking for. So why am I saying all of this before we start? Because you can see that I've not even changed slide. Is that you have to have a business goal. You have to have something you want to achieve with your business. It has to be unique. It has to be different. And then we can begin to talk about how to be successful at it. So you have started this business or you have this business idea. In today's business environment, you have to stay focused and you must be motivated. Today, we want to outline how you will build momentum, how you overcome obstacles and achieve your goals. But the two key words that we are not going anywhere without is focus and motivation. Focus because nobody gets results by flying everywhere and doing everything. You only get results by being focused. The example I know that Dr. Abib uses all the time is the example of when you urinate on a spot. You can dig a hole from the focus. But if you are scattering, nobody will even know anything happened. But if you focus and you stay on it, you are likely to create such impact that they will know something passed. And that's why when we learn in personal development, we know that it takes about 10 years to even become an expert in anything. You don't become an expert by changing your career. You don't become an expert by changing the business you're doing. Today you're selling rice. Tomorrow they say it's closed, you're selling. The day after, you know, well, on a call water might mean that you may not even find the way to the other. Because you keep trying the gates and you never enter. You know, you knock on the door, you open the padlock, you do like you shake, it did not open. You drop that key, you go to the next one, you do shake, you just keep changing the lock without having ever going in. And that's why your dream and your vision, what you want to do with your business has to be something bigger than you. And that's how they increase their salary over the years. But if there is a vision, a compelling vision that appeals to you, if you know that what you are doing is what is going to help the people in your village move out of obscurity into limelight, then you have a bigger reason for doing it than just the money. However, if the owner of the vision is not even clear about what he wants to achieve, then there's no how we can communicate it. So the first place to build momentum, you have a business idea, you're trying to execute it, is to understand exactly what you are trying to do. And we thank God for seminars like this. It helps you gain some clarity on how to craft the vision of your business. Of course, immediately after you have a vision, if the vision is something you can achieve by yourself, then it's not big enough, obviously. You need a team. Even as simple as public speaking, you want to be a motivational speaker. By the time you are doing motivational speakers, nobody will know about you unless you're on social media. Abi? So you need a social media manager. Somebody is going to be helping you create content. Who is going to be helping you post it? Because your competence might not extend to everything. And then you can't speak and record yourself unless you are recording directly. So when you even want to record directly and you want to now start selling lessons, somebody has to understand the algorithm with which you sell. Somebody has to understand how you will get 1,000 followers on YouTube so that YouTube can start paying you, or that 1,000 subscribers on YouTube so that YouTube can start paying you for your content. Some people understand these things better. And then you begin to need people who can do all these things for you. After a while, because of the kind of places you are being invited, you will need a stylist, somebody that will help you put together how you look. Because not everybody has strengths in every area. So once you have that vision, the next thing you need to do is find the people that will help you execute it. Of course, here we say, think big, start small, and then keep going. If you have thought big, then you would have broken down your big thoughts into little pockets. And immediately you recognize the ones you have strengths to do and the ones you are not strong enough to do. So the first things you recruit are your weaknesses. Sometimes you might not just build your team by recruiting, you can build your team by collaborating. If somebody has something you need, a network you need that you don't have, you can collaborate with them. I will produce. But you know, this build a strong team to make it happen. It doesn't have to be a team personal to you. It can be a shared team. That's why I mentioned collaboration. Then right after that, you focus on customer satisfaction. I have said that your business should be built around the solution to a problem. And I have said that it must solve the problem in a mega way that can go global. You can keep expanding the number of people you solve the problem for. Now, I also mentioned that your customers are looking for two things: that solution and good feelings. The reason people change from one vendor to the other is not the solution, because the solution is basically the same. If I'm hungry, the solution is to eat. But we will prefer one vendor to the other because of satisfaction. Now, Kinokun is different from Odo. Exactly. Sorry, for those who don't understand Yoruba, Kinokun is let my belly be full. It's different from it is sweet. It is tasty. I enjoy it. You know, sometimes those food you enjoy, they are actually not as plenty as the ones that fill your tummy. You know, the people that want to fill tummy, they will buy beans and then pour gari, konkere, you know, so that the belly will be full for a longer time. You know, but the people that are looking for taste, they will be looking for atagbado, because there's a way it is fried with green pepper. They will be asking for special things. The people that want to do konkere just need energy for the road. They are not looking for taste. You understand? So of course, there are some people whose target market are Kinoko. You understand? So they would situate their sales points where the laborers are. You know, there are places where when you want to work on your building, there's a place where the laborers gather in the morning and you go and pick them up. Those people will be selling with bread. They will give you option of pouring gari on it. They don't have any other color. Every other bank was white. It's the color they used to decorate that is different. But GTB was never white. It was gray and orange. So I asked a friend, my friend that I said is the CEO of Baobab. I said, you have worked in GTB. What else? Apart from this color, there's something else. He said, did you notice the architectural design? I said, okay, so you people are using design to capture people. You know, the trick is the people that opened those accounts didn't know why they did. And then I asked him, okay, is there anything else? He said, there is no GTB bank that has a fence. They don't have fence. It was GTB that made people start removing fences from their banks. Now, see, unconsciously, we don't know that they have studied the customer to create the business. Do you understand? They are telling you, enter, we are available. We are not keeping you out. Meanwhile, the others are thinking safety and building walls. GCB knows the thief that wants to enter, whether you have wall or you don't have wall, he will enter. So they remove the walls, and then you feel you have access to your bankers. GTB was the first bank that you can open your account from home. You don't have to go to the bank. So why would everybody have their ATM card? You have to go to the bank to pick the ATM card, but if you open the account in your house. And you know how difficult it used to be to open accounts. Thank God for them, them that you don't leave your house anymore. Physical banks, you will enter your NEPA bill must be 3 months. They will just disturb you. You will wonder. You will now have the impression that they are doing you a favor. GTB gave us the impression that we were doing them a favor by opening their account. That in itself worked on the mindset of people. And that's why everybody now has GTB ATM. They will pass you be a passport bank and go to GTB because they don't want to pay 65 naira. Even somebody that wants to collect 50,000 does not want to pay 65 naira. So it was no longer about the money. It was now brand loyalty. And that is what comes when you focus on customer satisfaction. Is an impression in the mind of the customer that you are for them. That is what attracts and keeps the customer. Not necessarily the amount of drama we put into our adverts. You know, you can do dramatic adverts and the customer will come and hiss and go. Because the advert and the business, they don't resemble themselves. Yes. So when you start your business and you have solved a problem and you are making your customers feel good, you have to continuously ask them, how do you feel about the service you received today? What would you like us to change? The more you ask, the more you know, the more you are able to adapt your business to suit the customer, which leads to innovation and adaptation. I shared a fact about innovation last month. Innovation is being able to make money from whatever creative ideas you have. So once your customers tell you what they think you can do differently to help them, don't just collect it. It has to bring more money. So if I change it, will you give referrals? Will you bring more people? As a matter of fact, the idea might be, okay, I give you a discount every time you bring one person. You understand what I'm saying? So whatever it is they tell you to use to tweak your business, you must adapt and then innovate and find a way to make sure that your bottom line gets better when you adapt. And of course, in this school, one of our core pillars is Kaizen. If you're not getting better, you're dying. And you can't even afford it. Today, things are coming up. Technology has spoiled everything. Something new is on the block. Every week, something new must come up. If you do not know, then your competitors will be jumping past you. And you know that they don't owe you anything. That innovative way you have come up with to solve problems, if they see your own is selling, they will copy it. So that means that you have a maximum of 6 months of saying you are doing something new. In 6 months, they have copied you. And so everybody is now on your level. You had better continue to learn so that you can continue to improve your offering. Because if you don't improve your offering, you'll be where you were. I'm sure many of us saw last year that we started putting banners outside that we are now serving complimentary breakfast. The key selling point of academic suites is affordable luxury. You feel good, you're in a good hotel, and then you can afford it. As in, you can bet and carry your own family and say you are going to academic suites, you sleep 2 nights. Why? Because it's affordable. Other places, you might do 6 months planning before you will take the whole family. You know the whole family is not one room. Yeah, it's not 1 day. You understand? But here you can suddenly feel tired and say, I'm giving myself a treat this weekend. Hello, manager, how far? I don't want a big room. Just give me something my size. And then you now know, because of how affordable it was. When you now come and ask for free things like free food, free. Hello, uncle, you know how much you paid? We are giving you the best you can get at that price. But you see, they were getting free food elsewhere. Of course, the rooms were not as cheap. They're still not as cheap because our key selling point is the affordability. But we just reasoned amongst ourselves, what will happen if we add the food? You'll be surprised. They were more satisfied. The addition made a difference. And now they start wondering, what else will they add? Because we are not giving them food. The room is still affordable. What else will they add? Have you been to our reception lately? We have added something. So, in staying motivated and building momentum, you must understand the little wins. It is the little things that make a difference, not the big things. I know that many people, I've had people walk up to me and say I should submit. Maybe we say we are running 110 academy. I should submit to them the list of billionaires and bank balances that we have had. Shebi, we have been here for more than 10 years. They want the 100 billionaires we have raised. And so I had to tell them that, number one, this is how we gather every month. As a matter of fact, this is the least we have had in a very long time in attendance because we're always carrying extra chair. Now, it's one thing to attend. It's another thing to implement. How many people have written affirmations every day for 6 months in this room right now? You did not miss 1 day. One person out of all of us. 2, I'm counting. 2, who else? You understand what I'm saying? So if we say this is the formula for success, it is the miracle drug. They gave us miracle drug this morning. Said we should use water and swallow it. If you do not use the drug, will you get relief? If you use it sporadically, I have a doctor here. If you give us antibiotic for 5 days and we use for 2 days, you see the beautiful thing. We share. We see they even work. You have to start all over again. So because I said antibiotics, okay. So if you saved, we say we should save for 7 years. You save for 3 years, you now withdrew it. I went to build a house. And the house did not finish. So you cannot have tenants that will pay you. The savings you don't have again, you have built house. So will you be a billionaire? If we say the way to trigger the effect of compound interest is to save for 7 years, and in the 5th year, there was an overwhelming need, and it was a matter of life and everything is a matter of life and death when you want to spend money. And the need must convince you that it is a matter of life and death. It's not yet time for your mother to die. You must save her life. and you now go and cancel your 5 years. So you can't trigger compound interest. What is going to happen? You are going to start that 7 years all over again. So the minimum arrival time is 12 years from start because you truncated it at 5 years. So I now had to say that my own is as doctor to dispense prescription. That people will use the drug. Now they keep coming because they know that the drug is efficacious. It works. They have tested it and it's working. As a matter of fact, some keep using it. But you see, what delays your progress are the breaks. And that is why we say build momentum, celebrate small wins. That is why we said open mutual fund that has app that you can log in and see how far you have come. If you see how far you have come, the day you want to break it, you will have malaria. So I'm talking about money. But you will have fever that you cannot, there's no Panadol they give you that can make you feel good. Me that I have now reached 15 million. They want to send me back to 2 million. You will not remember the fact that you see it grow every day. You get motivated to do more. The day it wants to reduce, you will look for money everywhere else. You get innovative with how you can raise money without touching that savings because 7 years, and you have to see your interest exceed your savings. If you are a good student, if you are not, you will not even get to start. You will hear that we said you should open mutual funds accounts. You will not even go as far as opening it, not talk of funding it. Or you funded it this month, something happened next month, you skip. The next month you fund, the next month you skip, the other ones you now skip, and the third one is rent. The fourth one is the tire. You know, you needed to replace 3 tires out of 4. And those who change tires know what I'm talking about. It's bigger than your savings. You understand? And then you let life shake you from your goals. Why don't you attach small wins? Attach a, how do I put it now? A reward to your milestones. And understand that the small wins will carry you far. The success we celebrate of Dr. Abeokuta was because he did it 7 years flat the first time without touching. By the second time he did it, banks were approaching him for his money. Sorry, please, can we help you keep it? Tell us the interest you want. Now, 14 years, add it to your age now. You are not in the grave now. You still have a lot to enjoy afterwards. And that's why they always say maturity. A sign of maturity is delayed gratification. Knowing that there is nothing you want for 10 years that you cannot get. Why not just wait? Of course, we are not saying save 100%. Has anybody ever told you that when you make money, save everything? No. So the little things, you have money to cater for it. But the one you are saving, you are saving it. The trick for me is not in the amount. It's in the consistency. And that's why those little things count. I don't know if I've said it here before, but when I was working in the bank, I had a cleaner. She's 61 now. I've said it before, Abby. I had a cleaner. She's 61 now. She has never desired to buy a car. But all her children have gone to university and come out. She has done wedding for them. She lives in her own house and she has never earned more than 25,000 naira before. And if she has sent 3 children to university, she has never saved 5,000 out of 25,000 before. Because she can't afford to. But she has always saved. She will do a job. She will save. She will. And if she's liquidating her savings, is to buy tire or to buy block or to, she knows the milestone she is getting. And so when she hits that milestone, she can now afford to buy lace. Of course, it's not the type of lace you want to buy that she wants to buy. But she knows that once a year, that Christmas is the thank you she's giving herself for doing well. These things she has labored for, though I don't encourage it, she's sure that over the years when she's retired, those children will buy the lace. Especially since they saw what she did to make sure they ended up well. So here, the point I'm making is, why don't you attach a reward for achieving your milestones? Why don't you set milestones for your business and then pursue it and attach a reward for it? When you set a goal, a sales goal in your business, and your staff have helped you, you have met it, how do you celebrate that win? It might be the fine line that determines whether those people will be motivated to meet that goal or not. I'm sure we've heard about profit sharing in our organizations. We do it in Tolu Medical, we do it in all 7 organizations that Dr. Abibola runs. We have set a sales goal. When we hit our sales goal, if we are able, there is a minimum. Once you make the minimum, you know, aside from your salary, something is coming. Permanently, it is the aim. People don't, as at now, they are not aiming to meet that goal and get that one. They are aiming to meet it so that they can get double. Because the rule is that if you are able to do A, you get 1. If you do B, you get times 2. If you do C, you get times 3. What do you think will happen to the people that are pursuing? They no longer even see that one as the goal anymore. And then there's now a structure that makes sure that profit sharing is done in the middle of the month. You know, employees have a way of budgeting. That by the 15th, their eye will be hard. You know, who knows that song? You know the song, So by the time they say Google, something we enter. You understand? So that something we enter, number 1, and it will be hefty enough for you to even direct it to projects. You pursue more than double the goal. Because there's a reward. Even you, the business owner, if your earnings are tied to percentage income, percentage sales, you would realize that when you view your sales on a daily basis and you see that the way I'm going, by so and so day, I will not have met, your approach will be different. Many people get laid back in relation to pursuing their goals. The reason they get laid back is either they are not tracking their performance or there's no reward attached to meeting those goals. If there's a reward attached, then you will not expect the same thing you did last month to bring you the results you want this month. What am I saying? You have set a goal that you want to see at least 100 new customers every month. If we are able to increase our customer base with 100 on a monthly basis, we will reward ourselves with something. As at the 25th, you have only seen 20 people. You won't use the same advertising strategy. You will realize that the one you are using has brought the maximum number of people you can bring. You will call meeting. What are we going to do differently? What can we do? Oh yeah, everybody bring 5 people. You do that one. You watch it. It's not working. Okay, we were not using social media before. Let's use social media. No, social media is not working. Let's add radio jingle. You understand? You will keep brainstorming, keep thinking of ideas you can implement to hit your goal because there's something in it for you. Many times, there's always something in it for the owner. It's your vision. Put something in it for the people who work with you on your team. And when they win, celebrate it. When you focus on what you can achieve, when you increase your goals in stages, in steps, and you layer it, it is easier to get people motivated to continue to do what they need to do. But no matter what happens, difficulty will come. Challenges will come. It might be the customers, the type of customers you're looking for that will begin to run from you. And so you need to sit down and assess, what am I going to do about the problems we have? So on overcoming obstacles, the first thing to do is not to see obstacles as obstacles. Why is there an obstacle? Why is there a challenge? Because what you knew before that problem came is not something that can carry you through that problem. It's an invitation for a different approach. Sales target, for example. If you want to increase income without increasing the number of customers you see, it means that each customer is paying more, right? Okay, so you sit down with yourself. What can I do to make them pay more? Many times, many of us in developing areas that are not selling luxury goods, we have customers that haggle, that will leave because of 5 naira. You know them now. They will price you to the last. And you will say that if I sell below that price, I'm selling below price. They will say, ERTT is across the road. And they will cross. Many of them will buy from ERTT at the same price you gave them. because there's too much stress to come back. And then you think about yourself and you say, no, no. I cannot be doing business with people who will not buy from me because of 5 naira. So that means you want to change the type of people you are appealing to. What does it invite? New thinking. That's all. You need to change you to change the kind of people you attract. How do you change you? Continuous learning. So what am I going to do? What am I going to add? I've always said, I've given this example before. There is parfait that I eat in Ibadan. As at today, it's now 6,000 naira. There is 2,000 naira parfait. I don't eat it. It's not that it's not sweet, but I don't eat it. It's the 6,000 one I want. And I would rather wait and eat it once a month than buy 2,000 naira parfait every week. You know, the difference still comes to just 2,000 naira, and it's just one, but I would have eaten it every week. I would rather gather my strength and eat it once a month. Why? Because that person has associated some type of luxury and class with that brand. That feel good feeling of, you know what, I want to yayi ladugbo. Parfait 6,000 bobo. Sorry, my Yoruba is much today. You know, but you know there's a feeling you have from associating with some brands. So what obstacles that come, like competition, pricing, obstacles come to challenge your thinking. So first thing you need to do to be able to overcome obstacles is to have a growth mindset. For every problem you face, understand that there has to be a solution. The only thing is you don't know how to find it. So this has come to invite a different way of thinking. This challenge has come to make me approach things differently. What will I do? Not only to overcome this obstacle, but to position my business better, to make sure that I don't have to suffer from this kind of setback again. That approach in itself is a plus plus. Why do I say this? People die before they die. It's a common saying. I'm done for. Oh, it's over. It is the fear that is killing you, not the problem. So if you have a growth mindset and you embrace opportunities, or rather you embrace obstacles and see them as opportunities to grow and do things differently, then it will not be difficult for you. It will be easier for you to overcome it because you understand that, okay, nature has sent something my way to show me how to do things differently. So what are the common challenges we face in business? Financial constraints. You have produced, people are not buying. Competition. They're offering it at the same price I'm offering it. What else? Regulation. The government suddenly comes and says that all the bromate you have bought, you must not put it inside bread again. You understand? They bring rules, you know, that inhibit business the way you used to do it. Number one, you have to think of how to adapt to the new way. Number two, you have to think of what you will do with the materials you have that they have suddenly outlawed, that you can no longer use. But just understand that all these things come to challenge your thinking and your perspectives. So make sure that no matter what, you have problem-solving skills, your creativity is there, your resilience, nothing can shake me. And how do we do this? By practicing savers. You know, we talk about this a lot. If you have a vision board and you keep looking at your dream, you understand that, they are trying to distract me. I will think of a way to do it without this. You know, many times we all don't look at things like that, but I learned a very long time ago that you must always keep your focus on what you want to achieve. And you must never be addicted to a way of achieving it. You know, sometimes we have believed that this is the only way, especially when it comes to money for business. Many of us, when we're starting business, believe that unless I get a grant or somebody borrows me money, I can't start this business. And it is the only reason we don't start, because we are expecting a windfall. If the money is not complete, we can't do anything. What happened to starting small? What happened to starting from the corner of your bedroom? What's happened to starting as an apprentice? Learning how to do it. In learning how to do it, you meet the suppliers of your boss. In learning how to do it, you meet different people who want what you are looking for. And so you automatically learn how to do it, and you are equipped to do it. So don't ever restrict yourself. Don't be addicted. That was what I used. Don't be addicted to a style of solving the problem. Because when challenges come and that style don't work, what will you do? You'll give up. You throw in the towel. However, if you know that this is what I want to achieve, and there are a million ways it can be achieved, it will be easier for you to expand your mind and explore the options of how to achieve it. Another thing, develop contingency plans. The work of a business owner is brain work. If there is muscle work, get people to do it. You sit down with conceptualization. Sit down to think about the business. Dedicate time every day, 1 hour, 2 hours, to thinking about the business. And that's why the role of a manager is not to do the work. The people that do the work, you delegate to them. The role of a manager is to think, how can we do this better? Is there a better, cheaper, faster way of doing the things we do? And it is something you must think about consistently. As in, it must be on your to-do list every day. For 30 minutes, I will think. You can now decide what, if it's the procurement you want to think about today, distribution tomorrow, customer acquisition day after. But you must consistently dedicate time to thinking about it. And when you think about it, you have plan A, you have plan B. So if that delivery guy does not show up, have another one. If this supplier fails to supply at the time and I have a delivery to make, then I must have an alternative source of that same raw material. So have contingency plans. No matter how good the relationship you have with somebody is, if that person disappoints, your business will be grounded. So it's important for you to have a plan B. It might not be solid until you need to use it, but have an idea of ways in which you can solve your problems when they arise. Of course, staying flexible and adaptable is directly linked to not being addicted to a particular way of solving your problem. If you believe that that is the only thing that can work for you, you will not be able to see the other options you have. And if you have difficulty seeing your other options, seek advice. And that's why apprenticeship is actually underrated. If you have worked with somebody before and you have seen him in 15 different positions, adapt, innovate, use other options, it will be easier for you to know what your options are. Apprenticeship might not be easy. The people that are doing what you are doing, they might not be nearby. Read their books, listen to their videos. If you hear that they are speaking anywhere, go there and listen. Like I said as we were starting, you don't have to experience it to be good at it. You can learn from the experience of other people. So have mentors. And when I was highlighting the different things, there's things you'll be strong in and things that other people will be strong in. That is the power of networking. If you do not know much about, for example, social media or marketing, you would have met somebody in one seminar or somebody's cousin or somebody's friend that knows about it. If you're a good person and you ask them for advice, they will give you. If you're somebody that knows how to create value, they will give you advice in exchange for the value you create for them. And many times you won't have to spend money because they remember you have done them a favor before, or they remember there's a favor they want from you. And so they will easily give you pointers in the right direction. So seek advice if you're stuck. As a matter of fact, when you see a problem coming, it's a good time to organize mastermind meeting and then begin to table it. With the way this thing is going, this is where we're going. What do you think will happen if we change routes along the way? If mastermind you don't have, you have friends that do business. If you don't have friends that do business, you have met at least 4 people in this place. Do group call, WhatsApp. You people, I'm looking at something. What do you think? You don't even need to tell them. Create a scenario around your problem. You'll be surprised. Put it on your status. People will answer you. I don't know if you people do it, but me, I do it. So London to Nigeria, May to June. Anybody? You'll be surprised. You will get 15 courier, and they will carry it for you for free. But seek advice. Put the question out. Ask Meta Business. Ask ChatGPT. I don't know why people are not using it. The problems, the way they will solve the problem, you will look at the problem and feel, why did I now feel the problem was peculiar to me? When ChatGPT has the answer. As a matter of fact, I've now decided that I'll be adding the situation in Ibadan, Nigeria. It localizes the answer. Yes, it will give you options in your neighborhood. There's so much you can do to overcome obstacles that is unforgivable for us to have a situation that makes us run away, because we can get help if we ask for help. So all of this is tailored to helping us achieve our business goals. How do you achieve your business goals? The first thing is by setting those goals. Every December and June, we talk about goal setting here. We do appraisals in June and then refine our vision. In December, we set those goals category by category. Your family goals, your business goals, your finance goals, your vacation goals, your possession goals. So make it smart, make it specific, make it measurable. How much money do you want to earn? How many customers do you want to see? How many impressions do you want to have? You know, the fact that you have put out an advert and people have interacted with it. How many of the people that interacted with your advert bought? You know, you don't just want them liking your adverts. You want them actually making a purchase. Are you even tracking your metrics? Because the reason your goals are supposed to be measurable is because you're supposed to be measuring it. Are you measuring it? How many people make inquiries about your product and don't buy? When you know that there are too many people asking and nobody buying, then there's something wrong with the answer you are giving them when they ask. You won't know what to treat if you are not tracking. Make it relevant, because if you have set an overall goal, whatever the breakdown you are doing is, whatever it is, it has to contribute to the achievement of the overall vision. So any goal that does not have a time limit, what is it? It's a mere wish. You're just wishing things were different. If you're not saying, okay, between today and so day, we are going to do this and that. And after you have set the goal, break it down. There's a book on the table there, Time Management is Life Management. What we do is we go to the end of your life, you write an inscription, and you break the entire period down into 10 years. Then you break your 10 years into 5 years. Then you break your 5 years into every year. Every year you break it into months. Your months, you break it into weeks. Your weeks, you break it into days. Every day you have a to-do list. That to-do list is an interpretation of what you want to culminate in your life at the end of your life. What you do every day determines where you are going to end up. Where you are today is a total result of everything you have done before now. If you don't have enough money today, it's because you spent everything before now. And you know, we always say that even though you might not have any control over how you got here, today is in your hands. Tomorrow is in your hands today. Next year, you are working on it right now. 5 years' time, you are already working on it today. So all this advice you have received, whatever you do with it is what will determine what your 5 years' time will be. It is in your hands. If this one has nothing to do with where you were born, or how you were born, or if your parents were poor, or if Nigeria has a bad economy. Because with that economy, people are building houses, they are buying cars, they are going to school and coming out, they are setting up businesses and doing well. So that economy cannot be your own excuse. It is the things, the little things you decide to do today. Instead of reading a book, you are checking Instagram. You will get the results. Everybody gets their report card. You will get the results over a period of time. When you say you want to read and you have opened the book, the TV, somebody next door now open TV, they put on their own TV. You now start hearing that film, you're hearing that film, you're hearing that. That voice is sounding like Ogogo. And your book is over. Well, when the exam results are out, won't you get your report card? Yeah, so the results you get at the end relate directly to the decisions you took today. Every single decision. The decision to speak for 5 minutes extra with that person, that 5 minutes that you'd have used to meet the person that will move your business forward, well, you will get your reward. So break it down, create an action plan. And when you create an action plan, stick to it. You know, we said something about focus at the beginning. You must be focused on what you are doing to get the results you need to get. And if you have said that's how you want to do it, and you're not tracking if you're getting it done, you will not get it done. You know, I mentioned when it comes to sales targets or customer targets, you look at where you are and where you are going, and you recalculate. The time I have, is it enough to get there? Is what I'm doing right now going to get me there? If you know it cannot get you there, it's time to change your strategy. How you are living your life today, is it going to give you the type of life you want next year? If it is not going to give it to you, then you change your strategy today. It is only a madman that does the same thing the same way and expects a different result. So check what I am doing and what I want. Do they match? Many times they don't. When you see they don't match, it becomes your responsibility to change what you are doing. Also, stay committed. I already mentioned the example of you try this key in the padlock, you drop it, you go to another padlock. you are not going to make progress if you are not committed to your course. If you are a jack of all trades, you are not likely to master anyone. Now, motivation is what helps you get up every day. I already said that the basic key to motivation is savers. Have a vision. Meditate on your vision. That's silence. Say affirmations around your vision. Visualize it. Have pictures that represent what you are pursuing in life. When you do exercise before, reading books that promise you what you are looking for. And then you write down the things you do differently. That's practice of the miracle morning. These are things you do every day. They keep you focused and motivated towards achieving your goals. If you have a picture of the kind of house you want to buy on the wall, and you don't feel good, and you go, this house will not jump on me. You will get up. You might be reluctant, but you will get up. And you will do what you are supposed to do because that is what you're doing. That's the end game. And that's why when we talk about vision boards or having the pictures of the things you desire as the screensaver on your phone, it just motivates you to keep doing the right things because you know what you're looking for. And then, of course, there will be times when you feel, all this while we are doing safe. If somebody else now is the one that is helping us enjoy the life because we have overworked, take breaks. The breaks also help you stay motivated. So how do you stay motivated? Motivation is your key to long-term success because that means that every time you do what you're supposed to do, find your why. Your why is that goal, that thing you are pursuing, that thing you want so badly that you do everything else to get it. Don't just find it, put it where you can see it. Put it where you'll be reminded daily that this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And then you keep doing what you ought to be doing. The next thing is celebrate milestones. I explained that already. Attach a reward to hitting a goal. You know, we said your goal, you break it down into smaller bits. For every small bit that you achieve, reward yourself. Reward yourself with something that makes it worthwhile. You know, many times I say that when I collect my salary, I give myself a treat. It might not be much, but I give myself a treat because I do not want to now pay school fees and be thinking these children safe. That's how somebody will be growing old and they'll be shiny. They will not know that it's somebody that is working for the money. So reward, feel good. Show yourself that you have done well for yourself. But we are not saying throw caution to the wind. Don't spend 50% on enjoyment. You know, you can even save it and do the enjoyments maybe 2 times a year in a big way for yourself. But reward yourself in a way that helps you recognize that you are doing well. Celebrate your milestones. I promised myself that I will save so and so amount this year. If I save that amount, I will buy myself a pair of shoes. So that when you are seeing the shoes, you will say, 3 months' time, I'm coming for you. You have something to look forward to. It might be shoes for you, and not shoes. It might be PS for somebody. Me, I don't have feelings towards PS. It might be PS for somebody. You know, what is it that tickles you? Use that to be your goal, your reward, your aim for doing the things you want, and then it makes the journey easier. Of course, it's important to surround yourself with positive influences. It's important to surround yourself with people who are not sharing bad news. You know, people that when you share your dreams, they're not telling you, you are be somebody else. You know, there are people like that, they just don't, because they know you, they do not believe it is possible for you. You know, then you know there's something that when they're talking to you, you just look at them and say, I don't know who will translate this proverb for me. You know there are people that will tell you about yourself and you tell them that I'm not that person again. I have found purpose. I have something I'm living for. I have found meaning for my life. So you have to surround yourself with people that can see things the way you see them. With people you can share your financial goals with. I will not say, this Nigeria, be somewhere else. You know? The people that will not say, this your sales goal, how do you want to achieve it with the price of diesel? Did we not know the price of diesel before we set our goal? You know, it is possible. People are doing it. So let's try it. Those are the people you need in your life. They are called firelighters, not firefighters that when they see small fire in you like this, they carry extinguisher and come and pour it on your head. Of course, you have to continuously learn and improve. This is the second time we are saying this. Kaizen. You must get better. The better you are, the better you attract the things you want. Who you become is much more important than what you have because who you are attracts what you have. So keep working on yourself. Keep becoming a better person. As the head of your team, how good you are is what determines the quality of people that will work with you. It will get to a stage that some people that work with you will be better than you. They will leave you because they will just suddenly realize that your vision and their own, they are not matched. The loss will pain you, but you do not realize that it's because you were not getting better. As a matter of fact, you must make sure that nobody on your team is competition for you. If that person is getting better, then of the team and then your team members are leading you, it won't work. Keep improving your vision and always, always stay focused on your goals. In conclusion, attaining business success requires creating momentum. There should never be a time when you stop working on your goals. I think this is a good time to talk about a car and acceleration because, momentum, for those who did science, they understand that is when you're in motion that you gain momentum. So what happens when you start your car and you are not on a slope? You are on normal level. Will that car move if you don't press the accelerator? It can't. If you press the accelerator, it starts moving. If you do not press harder, you just leave your leg there at the same force. It keeps moving and it keeps moving faster. You increase speed if you apply the same pressure. If you apply more pressure, you increase speed faster. If you apply less pressure, you decrease your speed. If you remove your leg, whether you like it or not, you will come to a stop. You're not doing anything, but you grind to a halt. Why? Because you're not doing anything. Motion is not possible unless you're applying some form of pressure. And it is important, extremely important, that you maintain standard pressure than you accelerate fast. Why? Because the car will jump when you accelerate fast. But you see, it's dangerous to keep accelerating at that speed because you will hit things. You won't have enough time to steer when there are obstacles on your way. However, if you are, if you are maintaining standard pressure, just a little bit of pressure, you keep growing at a pace you can keep up with. When obstacles are coming, you have enough time to design how you would avoid them or go around them or slow down so that they can pass. You have time to strategize how to address the obstacles. They will not be your downfall. But you never ever let your foot off the accelerator because once you do, you will begin to slow down until you come to a complete halt. So, becoming successful, it requires you creating momentum, sustaining that momentum, overcoming obstacles because they will surely come, and achieving your goals. I hope that by following the strategies we've shared, you can stay focused, motivated to achieve them. However, there's a case study I want to talk about before I leave, and this is Uber. When I say Uber, for those of you who don't use Uber, because I know that Uber is not everywhere, but Bolt is. We have Bolt in Abeokuta. It's based on the same structure, but Uber started first. Bolt followed them. As a matter of fact, between Uber and Bolt, there was another one. Opay. Abi, was it Opay? There were Opay, all right. All right. All right now became Opay because they stopped riding. They started paying. They became a bank. But there was all right before. Uber came first. And then there was all right. And now we have Bolt. What happened was that all right encountered obstacles that they could not solve. Bolt solved that problem, and that's why they still exist. Uber still exists, even though it was before everybody. That means that every obstacle they encountered, they solved it and kept going. So let's look at Uber. What's the story of Uber? Uber changed transportation. Before, to go anywhere, you will stand at a bus stop. You will do like this. You will now say, 200 naira, 100 naira. You have that conversation at the bus stop. If you do not have an idea how much it is, they will leave you there. If you people are able to agree, they will carry you. Some people who don't like riding with other people will now do, what do they call it? They now say, drop. Drop. As you say drop, the driver will look at you, check your dressing, what kind of shoe, what kind of bag, and then slam you. When they slam you, you say, Nikene, they slam them back. So that was what transportation was about. But now we had the internet. Everybody had a mobile phone that was smart, and they had internet. And somebody just sat down, let's begin to pick them from their house and drop them where they are going. So they changed transportation. for everybody. They solved a problem. We will always have transportation. You know, I started by talking about business ideas. We would always have a transportation problem. People will need to go places. So they picked a problem everybody would always have and found a better way to do it that solves the problem in an ingenious manner for everybody. So they came up with an innovative business model and they focused on customer service. The crux of that business model was attending to each customer. But they now took it a step further. They had customers at two different ends. The driver was their customer. You are also the customer. So automatically, Uber is a transport service that does not have cars.
Yes.
That's the same thing Airbnb does. Airbnb is an accommodation service that does not have houses. So they solved the problem of bridging the negotiation gap between the owner of the car and the passenger. So they leveraged on things that were already existing. We all had internet before they came. We all had phones before they came. The person that had a car before they came. Yes, so that's how they started. So the next thing, how did they create momentum? They first of all went to design the app that would link people. Then they started buying rights to maps. You know, Google had maps. So they needed to partner with Google for the maps. You know, I mentioned collaboration earlier. I'm just using a business idea to make an example of everything we have said so far. And so they started collaboration with the people with map, collaboration with the people with cars. Then passengers also needed to download the app they created. So they created a business model that just leverages on everything everybody had already. And so they had strong leadership. Somebody could see something we could not see, because how many of us downloaded the app the first time we had? No, I will first of all let everybody use it first. Check if they were kidnapped. Check. I'm serious. Check, is it more expensive than drop? You know, you compare. So I let some people be the guinea pig, and then I could work with them. But once people tried it and it worked, what happened? Everybody started trying it. So they disrupted by having a relationship with drivers and people, and they started entering new markets. Of course, they didn't start from Nigeria, but we have Uber in Nigeria. And they have Uber in almost all the nations of the world. Bolt is a little bit more localized because they understand our peculiar terrain and they could make their products fit to what we have. So they now started having problems. Before you can be everywhere in the world, that means you are registered everywhere in the world. So they have to register locally. And every nation has its own different regulations. So they now had to adjust. Let's find out what we can do. Right after that, they had to start managing controversy. Now, managing controversy, you might see it because I said managing controversy. Addressing safety concerns. How do you address safety concerns? You know, the first thing I said was, let some people use it. Were they kidnapped? So when it became a matter of, is it in Nigeria that people are being kidnapped and somebody will say, I'm the cab you ordered? Yeah, I'm not going, you know. What did they start doing? Share your ride. You can share your ride with anybody. They tell you, they started writing it in their app that check the plate number and the name so that to be the one. It's a peculiar challenge to countries where they have kidnapping problems. So they had a problem. People were being kidnapped. The government was not going to license them. And so they had to come up with an innovative solution of saying, okay, you can share your ride with your loved ones. They know where you are per time. And so the person you are going to meet is tracking. By this time, you should have been at this junction. By that time, they can see your ride on their own maps. So they went further. How many of us know that Uber rides, they have cameras? Oh yes, Uber has camera installed in Uber cars. So they in their company are viewing your ride. If you stop anywhere and somebody else joins you in the car, you know. If they drop somebody off, they are watching real time. And so automatically, when you enter, there's a sticker. This car has a camera. We are monitoring your ride. You know that the way you were sitting at the edge of the chair before, because the driver looks somehow, you will relax. Because if the person I shared my ride with does not catch Uber, you know, it's addressing the safety concerns. Managing controversy. Is it Uber? Is it blah, blah? Somebody carried my car, did not pay money, I hire purchase. Everybody, there are records of everybody. You have the records of the driver. If you want to check publicly how many rides that person took that day, who forgot what, your property got missing, it was in this car, the camera addresses that concern. And they can answer They're online written. If you use the app, after a while, you'll just see a questionnaire pop up. How have you been satisfied? As a matter of fact, I know that I use the train a lot. There's a peculiar problem with the train station in Agege. The location is wrong on every map. They will take you to the back instead of the front. Right? So they send reviews from time to time. The location we took you to, was that what you wanted? If you cancel a ride, they will send you a questionnaire. Why? The cab was late. When you finish the ride, they will send you a questionnaire. Did they put on AC for you? Did he drive rough? That is how they have. You know that they don't need to tell you that they have prioritized customer service. You know that you're at the core of their business. And then they tell you to rate that driver. Any driver that gets less than a certain number of stars will be struck off the list. So they are maintaining high standards of the kind of people they work with. Now we are sharing this story about how they have consistently over time adapted to serve the customer. This is how you must always consistently think about your business and adapt, innovate, and diversify is the best way to achieve your business goals. So in closing, I would like to share this quote. I don't know who said it. Momentum is the key to success. It's the difference between sitting on the bench and being in the game. If you are not accelerating, equal acceleration, maintaining pressure on your progress, making sure that you are innovating, what you are doing is waiting for business to happen to you and not driving your business process. Also, I would like to reassure you today that challenges will do what? They will come. But you see, they only become frightful things. They only scare you when you take your eyes off your goal. So like I said earlier, I would like to say, keep your eyes on the goal. Keep your focus on what you're trying to achieve. Don't get addicted to how you will solve that problem. Don't get addicted to what you think the solution to the problem is. And one way or the other, you will definitely find a way to solve the problem. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please be seated. I don't know if we have any questions. I have many professors in the room. They can answer questions too. Yes, sir. Oh, okay. No, you can give me.
My question is 7 years. I have time to I have a goal to buy a machine in maybe 1 or 2 years, and I'm also saving I want to save for 7 years. And probably in the second year, I have enough money to buy the machine. So what do? I want to save for 7 years. I have a goal in this, and I have the money in 2 years. Should I go for the machine or still wait to save to 7 years?
Okay, thank you very much. This question is another seminar. So let's open our jotters. Those who don't have jotters, open the notes on your phone and write down. I want to list some. I hope I remember the acronym correctly now. You write it one after the other, one line. C, D, E, F, G, P. I'm going to tell you the meaning of each letter.